Well, in 1968, I was a cameraman for CBS.
Right.
The streets were full of the hippies and yippies who were going to disrupt the convention and run a pig for president. And I was hit by the cops in 68.
At the riots, the 68
At the
convention riots.
Yes.
And that's you.
That's me, yes,
The poor guy. I mean, you really look like you've been battered up pretty bad.
Well,
I mean,
yeah. My correspondent was a guy named Jack Lawrence, and he had just come back from Vietnam.
Yeah.
And he took his walkie-talkie and he says, "We're taking casualties." So
serious stuff.
we were walking with a group of people from Lincoln Park.
Yeah.
Who were pretty good. There were only like 2 cops
Yeah.
keeping him on the sidewalk.
Right.
But when Division got to LaSalle Street, a whole bunch of cops came running around the corner, and I had my back turned to them, so they didn't see me or anything. They just took a swing at me.
In August of '68, I mean,
Yes.
this was the epicenter of what was going on with the riots and the anti-war protests, the yippies, like you said.
Yeah.
Abby Hoffman. To Chicago 7.
Chicago 7.
It was Chicago 8.
It was Chicago 8, but one of the guys was sent out of court.
Bobby Seale.
Bobby Seale,
Bobby Seale was a Black Panther as well.
Yeah, yeah.
What is this document here?
We had a lot of films, including a film called The Flagpole Incident in Grant Park.
November was when it was finally docketed, but it was 24th of September that this document's from. You were there?
Yes, we used to cover the court trial every day, and I actually was subpoenaed to appear. I think I was subpoenaed by both people eventually, and all during my testimony, everybody objected, so I may have had only 2 or 3 words.
2 or 3 words. But what you did was very interesting, and what a lot of people don't do.
Well, here's what happened. When I walked into court, Abby Hoffman put his arm around me and walked me up to the witness stand. I think that got the judge
He was creating havoc in the courtroom.
Yes, he was. I had the subpoena with me.
Yeah.
When I left the witness chair, I walked down to their table, and they were all sitting there.
Yep.
I just had an idea, just have them sign it if they would. And they all did. They were all very friendly.
You did that was really remarkable, because to get all the 7 here, it doesn't have Bobby Seale.
Bobby Seale was...
But you've got the whole group there. There's Jerry Rubin, Abby Hoffman,
Lee Weiner,
Rennie Davis, yes, Dave Dellinger, Tom Hayden, and then John Freins. They were found guilty of not conspiracy, but crossing state lines to incite riot, I think, and they got 5 years, but then it was lessened. I think in '72 they were acquitted. Do you know what they're doing now?
Well, Tom Hayden went on to marry a movie star.
Yeah, Jane Fonda.
And Abby Hoffman changed his face. He got plastic surgery and went underground for years and years and years.
He probably stayed the most radical out of them, I would think.
Probably.
Because of your instinct to do that, which was a great instinct, you've really kind of captured that moment historically, and that's what makes manuscripts valuable. That's what makes things interesting and collectible. An auction estimate that I would feel comfortable putting on this would be $5,000 to $7,000. As an auction estimate, I would insure it for about $10,000.
Really, it's not insured now.
I mean, it's just you couldn't repeat that now, and you'd have to be at that right place at the right time, as you were.